Good evening, colleagues. This is Module 4, Tutorial number 3. And we're going to start, scroll down here. I'm looking at Module 4 right now. And I'm scrolling down to Step 2, which is called Objective. And you already had a tutorial on the format and anticipatory set activity. This is now Step 2 of the direct lesson. Let me stop and say I hope you're doing well. I thought about you all day today, and I hope you're able to chill a little bit on the weekend. So I just want you to know I'm thinking about you and wishing you well. Okay, Step 2 of the direct lesson plan is extremely important because it's in this step that you are doing basically two things. You are telling and showing the objective. Telling and showing the objective. I call it shelling, telling and showing. So effective teachers actually post the B and D, the behavior and degree, on a visual icon, and they show it, and then they speak about it. So it says state and visually display the part B, which is the behavior, which is the verb, right? So again, you go up to your standard, and you take out one of the verbs if you have more than one, and that verb finds its place again in the objective in the part B. So what you're doing is you're taking your part B and D from the format section, and you're going to be speaking about it and then posting it. So here we go. State and visually display the part B, the behavior, which is the verb, and the part D, which is the how many, where you're going to place it, right, of the objective to the students. For example, you may say, students, at the end of the lesson on combustion, you will be able to define the term combustion in your own words on a worksheet. So define is the part B, which is the verb, which was taken from a standard. In your own words on a worksheet is your part D. Now, students, come over here where I've created a poster that looks like a campfire. So you have a poster that you're creating. So you're going to need to go on Google Images, and you're going to, whatever it is that you want to use as a visual icon. So if I'm talking about campfire stuff, then I am absolutely going to find a picture of a campfire. If I'm talking about Underground Railroad, then I may find a picture of a railroad car. If I'm talking about poisonous snakes, I might find a picture of a grassy area or perhaps a cage where a snake is in, right? So my visual icon matches my content. Does that make sense? That's why putting things on the blackboard or the whiteboard or any kind of a board, right, virtual or otherwise, it's got to match. It says, now, students, come over here to where I've a poster that looks like a campfire, right? You will see that I've written your objective for this lesson on the poster, and this is what you will be able to do at the end of the lesson. Two things in this section. You're going to orally state in your script. You're going to call them by that name that you have, right? So I might call them campers. Come over here to the campfire. You will see it right here on the wall, on the visual representation. On the visual representation, you are going to put over your visual representation your part B and your part D on the campfire. So if I'm using, let's say I'm using a cloud would be my visual representation. My students will list 3 cloud types in their cloud journal. So list 3 cloud types in their cloud journal would be placed on that visual representation. So whatever your visual representation is, you're going to overlay it with your B and D. So you will state and visually display only the parts B and D. You will not do the A and C. Let's go to the objective. Again, underneath each of the steps, you're going to cut and paste after your script. You're going to script. Everything that you do will be in parentheses. Everything that you say will be in quoted, okay? Under that, when you're done with scripting each one of these steps, you're going to cut and paste from this module the rubric. So under step 2, you will see a paragraph. Then you see rubric. You're going to cut and paste that rubric. And then you're going to go through it and check off and make sure everything in the rubric is in your script. So let me look here. Create a large icon that's related to your content and put the B and D parts of your objective on this. Okay? Did I do that? Did I have that up here? Did I show Dr. J, here's my campfire, and here's my part B and part D? If you did that, check it off. Next, under the rubric, okay, don't you love Canvas? Give me just a minute, just to come back to it. Okay, I know Canvas can be very, very frustrating. Okay, Okay, give me just a second. Why do I want to sing Jeopardy song? Da 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 da. Okay, here it is. I'm looking at the rubric. Next on the rubric, step 2 is orally state your B and D to the student. Did you, in your script, orally state the B and D? Did you say campers? At the end of the lesson, you will be able to list 3 ways a fire is started by turning to the person next to you. Did you orally state it? If you did, check that off, right? So that is objective. Let's go to step 3, purpose. Purpose is extremely important. It gives students the reason and the desire and the motivation to make the decision to learn, right? So in this purpose, I'm scripting again. I'm going to put step 3, purpose, and I start my script. Everything I'm saying, I'm putting in quotes. Everything I'm doing, I'm putting in parentheses. On this one, though, I'm not going to have a visual representation or a visual icon. So I'm going to tell the students an immediately applicable reason why they need to be able to do the B and D. So in step 2, I'm giving them the B and D. List 3 characteristics of poisonous snakes in your snake journal. And then I have my little visual representation of a snake. That's my snake, right? And on there I have my B and my D on my visual representation. The purpose is I'm going to give them an immediately applicable and relevant reason for making a decision to learn that. So the purpose, I'm reading here, the purpose needs to be contextualized to the students and given to them orally and continuously throughout the lesson. So when you think of creating a purpose, I'm going to give you an idea about how to do that. I'm going to talk about 6 F words. Choose one of these F words in the context of giving students a reason or a meaning behind which they need to be able to accomplish the B and D. So I want you to think about 6 F words: food, fun, family, friends, finances, and faction. Choose one. So it says again, choose one of these F words, such as friends, and say something like this. Now we're back to the campfire. Campers. The reason why you will need to be able to define combustion in your own words on a sheet of paper is if you are making a campfire with friends, F word friends, and going to roast marshmallows, you will need to be able to tell them about how a marshmallow can catch fire when it's put close to the heat on the fire, right? Whoa, there you go. So I've selected the F word friends in my purpose. If I was saying family, I may say sometimes you may go outside with your family, or you may go camping with your family, and you make a campfire with your family. And in the family, you will, as you're doing in the family, while the fire is going, it starts and then it gets larger. And then it gets very intense and things begin to happen. Sometimes there's sparks. So we're going to be roasting marshmallows with our family. So the reason why we need to be able to define combustion in our own words on a sheet of paper is if we're making a campfire with our family and going to roast marshmallows. So in purpose, you are giving them an immediately applicable and relevant reason why they need to be able to do the B and D of your objective. In that purpose or that meaning, you're going to select one of the F words: food, fun, family, friends, finances, and fashion. And you're going to address that as a part of your purpose. Go down now. After you've done that, remember you're still scripting, full narrative. Everything you say is quoted. Everything you do is in parentheses. After you've done that, you're going to cut and paste this rubric right underneath your script, and you're going to ask yourself, did I have a purpose that's immediately applicable to their lives? Yes. Did I use one of the 6 F words? Yes. Did I orally state it? Yes. So you check those off. So I'm going to stop with these next 2 steps. And in the morning, I'm going to design the input and modeling. That is going to be the big puppy dog. So I want to take some time on it. It's probably going to be a 30-minute tutorial. So if you can get these 2 items out of the way, you'll be ready to roll on the input and modeling. So I'm going to close it down now, upload it to you, and I'll be sending the next one tomorrow. I hope you have a good evening, and please keep our president in your thoughts, in your prayers, in your meditations, and whatever it is. Regardless of the political stance, that's not the issue. Politics does not enter into the human condition, regardless of who is sick. So we just wish the president and his wife well. And I know that several of you in both of my classes, several of you have had family members that have been affected. In fact, one of our students just lost her grandmother to COVID. So please keep these families in your heart and in your good thoughts and meditations. Thank you, and I love you guys, and I'm certainly going to be around tomorrow. In fact, if you want me to, I was pondering this. I was just thinking, hey, maybe I will journey over to Ypsilanti and hang out at Starbucks or something if you want to come over and talk about your lesson. So if that's something you want to do, meet me at Starbucks, social distancing, mask, of course. I'm happy to do that. So just let me know, and I appreciate it. Bye-bye for now.